Valley's up ahead. Now, folks, this time I'd like to tell you a little bit about these vintage cars you're riding on today. The locomotive at the front of our train in our current direction of travel is number 98. It is a 1952 model F9 PH type designed for use on passenger trains. It produces 1,800 horsepower and weighs in at 250,000 pounds. Rebuilt in 1981, it was used on the MARC commuter service in Maryland. Joined our Ozark Zephyr fleet in 1995. It was again rebuilt in 1998 and appropriately renumbered locomotive number 98. Now the first car out there is the Westport. It was built in 1939 for the Atlantic coastline. It worked on the famous Champion train, taking the rich and famous from New York to Florida on vacation. It's used for a Saturday evening dinner train. Now the next car is a Silver Chef. It's a beautiful 48-seat dining car built in 1956 for the Burlington Railroad. It was used on the Denver Zephyr and later worked for Amtrak on the San Francisco Zephyr. Joining our fleet, 1997 is also used for dinner trains on Saturday nights. Next car is a Silver Terrace, built in 1952 as a Vista Dome, parlor, and observation car. It was part of the original order to equip the Kansas City Zephyr. Purchased by Branson Scenic Railway in 1998 from a private owner, then completely refurbished and joined our Ozark Zephyr fleet in 2001. Next car is a Silver Lake. It's our 1952 buffet dining car, once known as the Casimir Pulaski, as it operated for Amtrak. It was added to our Ozark Zephyr fleet in 1997 as a concession car, and that's where you need to go get all your victuals, fixins, drinks, and goodies. Next is the Silver Garden. It's a dome buffet lounge car built for the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad in 1952. It worked on the Kansas City and American Royal Zephyr trains from Burlington Northern until the birth of Amtrak in 1971, when the majority of the nation's passenger service was turned over to Amtrak. Now the last car out there is the Silver Eagle, built in 1949 for the Texas and Pacific Railroad. This coach has 60 reclining seats and spent time at the Indiana Transportation Museum after being retired by the Texas and Pacific Railroad. Later it was restored and leased to Amtrak and finally purchased by the Branson Scenic Railway in 2001. Now the locomotive at the end of our train in our current direction of travel is number 99. It's a 1963 model GP30M with 16 cylinders producing 2,000 horsepower and weighing in at a whopping 300,000 pounds. It was rebuilt in 1982 and used in freight service on the B&O and CSX until 1994. Purchased by the Branson Scenic Railway in 95, then repainted in 1999 when it was appropriately renumbered locomotive number 99. Alright folks, we're about to go past an old railroad ghost town known as Gretna. Gretna got its first post office with the coming of the railroad in 1906. At one time it had its own general store, post office, school, church, its own depot, and many small businesses. But its post office closed with the Great Depression in 1933 and the town slowly faded into history. What marks the site of Gretna now is a long silver building coming up on your west, and that's a Royal Oak charcoal plant. About the only thing that really remains the same here in Gretna, the way it was in the earlier railroad days, is the Gretna Cemetery. It's also on the west side of the train, right up here past the charcoal plant. Nobody really knows how old some of the graves are in that cemetery. The names and dates have long since weathered away from the headstones. Now, up there at the cemetery, there is one big headstone that never had a name on it to begin with. It's kind of a strange story. Many years ago, there was a fellow born here in Gretna, and his parents named him Odd. Odd is a pretty strange name for a kid, and he took a lot of teasing because of it. Well, even as a successful businessman here in the Branson and Gretna area, Odd took a lot of teasing because of his name. Now it came his time to go. His last request was that he be buried right up there in that cemetery we're soon passing. But he didn't want his family to put his name on the cemetery. You see, he didn't want people making fun of his name, Odd, after he's gone. To this day, he's buried right up there.